What's the status with Logan Diggs and for this game?
I would say he's doubtful.
He's doubtful.
Yeah.
And I guess this week, how has Jayden sort of handled, I guess, some of the extra attention that's come on to him with any of this Heisman hype?
I think he's had a lot of attention all year. We've had a Amazon crew in here most of the year doing a documentary, and so we've had cameras around most of the year. So he's used to the distractions. He does a great job of keeping them at bay, and so I think he's done a great job really all year in terms of making the important things important, and preparing himself. As I mentioned, he's in here early in the morning, gets his work done, and then when he gets to practice, he's locked in. He's been really professional.
Speaking of Jayden, how does he separate from Michael Penix and Bo Nix in the Heisman race?
Well, I mean, I think you first of all look at what his versatility is. Certainly nobody runs the way he can. His ability to throw the ball down the field, big plays, I think nobody is close to him in terms of 20-plus yards or more in terms of big plays. He's a guy that takes the energy out of the opposition in the way he plays at that quarterback position. He changes the momentum in the game. If there's momentum against you, he brings it right back to you with striking for big plays, and that's the mark of a game changer. So all those guys are great players. They really are, and they're having terrific seasons. But nobody single-handedly has been as electric and has been the kind of game changer that he has been.
Malik is within spitting distance, I guess, of the all-time receiving yards record here for the program. Just what do you think that would mean for you guys as a program that you're trying to build here if he was able to kind of set that in the next couple weeks?
Well, I think all those records are certainly pieces that go to building the consistency that you're looking for in your program, and certainly what we're looking for is at LSU a prolific offense, one that can be a standard in which we can recruit to. So those are important pieces. I wouldn't say they're the most important things in our program, but they certainly help get the attention of the group that we're recruiting. So, I think we've made a dent in the I'd say the country relative to the kind of offense that we're running, and the recruiting has followed. So I think we've made an important inroad in these last couple of years in terms of what we're doing.
Hey, Coach, up in the second row.
Yeah.
With it being late in the season, I'm just curious maybe about some of the unheralded guys we haven't talked or heard about much this year that have surprised you with how much they've improved from the start of the season to now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could probably, start with Jayden Daniels. I think we get kind of lost in just his rise and his development as a quarterback. I don't know that anybody had him pegged for a Heisman, a leading Heisman Trophy candidate. I think his has been outstanding. Brian Thomas has been another one that I could point to. I think Garrett Dellinger's had a great year on the offensive line. I would say from a defensive line standpoint, Jacobian Guillory is really, progressed from a defensive standpoint. I think Greg Penn has been really solid for us from a defensive standpoint, and we've seen improvement from week to week. I think you'd have to put Sage Ryan in there. Here's a guy that we've asked to play multiple positions, and at times, that's difficult. But I mean, I think his resilience has been really good, and we've seen a steadying incline in terms of his play. So I'd say I probably, and there's many more. I mean, I'm leaving out a lot of guys that Mason Smith the last few weeks has been really good, and I'm going to leave out somebody, which these are tough questions because you forget somebody that's doing a nice job, but that's just to name a few, and I'm sure I forgot some.
Hey, Coach, first of all, any other injuries to report? Anyone else on the injury report this week?
No.
Okay.
Do you want somebody else on the?
No, I was just
really
curious. Just
drinking
wanted to see if
down?
we missed anybody.
I guess he doesn't trust you that you know your injury report. I mean, we got to follow up on the injury.
I just wanted to make sure you didn't leave.
I understand. No, but we're not hiding anybody on the injury report.
I also wanted to ask, we haven't asked you a ton about Brian Thomas, so I'm wondering if, have you noticed maybe a change in his mindset or his demeanor from last year to this year?
100%.
Anything changed about him to allow him to have such a big year?
Absolutely. Everything. Focused, attention to detail, doing a great job in the classroom. I would say that it's a Brian Thomas that is reflected in the way he's playing. Blocking downfield, catching the ball, all that is a product of him taking care of all the little things in his life on a day-to-day basis. Proud of his growth and his maturity, and it's all because of Malik Nabers, right? No, I'm kidding, right? We have this standing joke, Brian, all your success is because of Malik. So I don't know, he's earned all of it, and it started with his focus and determination in the classroom and doing the little things the right way and being early for everything. It was a choice. He wanted to be elite. He made that choice, and really proud of him.
So, anything's possible, but the 14 playoff is looking unlikely at this point. But say you're in this same situation right now next year when it's a 12-team playoff, and you kind of still have an opportunity to crack the field. Are you looking forward to being in that kind of a situation? Should you be in that situation next year, or are you more of a fan of the 14?
Yeah, we expect to be there. That's why we're here at LSU, to be part of, championship play and postseason play, if you will. I'm a fan of 12 teams. I always have been. I started my career in Division II where we had 16. Now it's 32. It's exciting. I mean, whether you're on campus or you're hosting or you're not, I just think it's going to be great for college football. And who knows? Right now, if we're in this position, I think we're 15th. Maybe we get a little help and we slide in. So that would make it exciting, right, for everybody in college football that the top 15, 16 teams are still fighting, for an opportunity for postseason. So I think this is going to be exciting. We still have some work to do this year. Our goal is obviously, as I talk to our football team, look, everybody remembers about how you finish. And for us, it's about finishing strong and finish the season strong. And that's what our focus is right now.
Coach, over here. When you talk about the retention piece year to year of the roster, how much of that do you view as sort of day-to-day doing things the right way and making sure that the guys are where they need to be mentally versus more explicit conversations, and when does that kind of ramp up? Is that after A&M or does that start already?
Well, that's a good question because there are different pieces to that, right? Last year it was acquisition over retention. And this year it's going to be retention over acquisition. So retention begins with certainly developing a program where players thrive within your culture. And so retention is their want and desire to be there. And then you have to add, certainly opportunities like I can develop here. I can see myself, playing here and developing to where I could maybe take this game to the next level. You have to look at NIL opportunities as a piece of that retention. So all of those now have to be part of, a bigger vision as it relates to retention. And then development, right? You want to develop your players, your younger players, your freshman class. We weren't in that position. Last year it was a heavy acquisition. It was freshman recruiting and then retention. Retention is goal one now in year two for us. Player development and then acquisition through the transfer portal.
Speaking about looking into your third year statistically, in every team that you've coached, you've made a huge jump in your third year. With being at LSU and you spoke about recruiting and retention, what do you think that means looking into your third year and what that means for you now?
Well, the third year, wherever I've been, is probably a comfort level where everybody from the night cleaning crew here to the freshman that's in the program for 6 months to the transfer student, everybody knows what the standard is. And so, that creates a synergy within your program that everybody's pulling in the same direction. There's no need to be slowed down by some that are not on the same page. Everybody's working in the same direction, and we're getting really close to that. Finishing up this year. As we go into the off season, there'll be great momentum going into year three.
There's a lot of bowl projections that have LSU maybe playing Notre Dame in a bowl game. You have any thoughts on that one way or another? That possible match?
Should be great for the media. You guys will have.
Well, that's the most important, but yes,
Yeah,
it would be great.
It'd be great for you guys. Yeah, I mean, I hope that we get a bowl matchup that everybody's excited about. But my focus right now is on Georgia State, and we got to play up to a standard to a team that has always risen up to the competition. Georgia State plays up. They had that great win against Tennessee a few years back. They played North Carolina tough, so. This is a program builder for them. So my focus has been on Georgia State. Great. All right. Thank you.